Hello and welcome back to the White Walker. We have the top four for you with James Waumsley playing Tyrell Wars and Alexander Trigonakis playing Martell Wars. And I am your host today. I am Richard Walker and I am joined by my lovely partner Rebecca.
Hello.
Hello. So, we have an esteemed meeting in the top four of the European Championship. 163 players and two of the best four here in this top four.
How many are there?
Two.
I don't think you said that there's four in the top four.
I think there's two in the top four, but there might be four players in the top four.
And we're watching two of them.
Are we?
You're doing well at this introduction thing, honey. Well done.
Thank you.
And we also have something else to talk about.
We do?
We do.
After you?
We have a new Patreon.
We do.
Oh, crap. What was it? Peter de...
You're terrible at names.
Is that right?
What?
No. What was it?
It just looked like Des Hotels.
Des Hotels. Let's call him Pete.
Pete!
Thanks, Pete!
Yeah, cheers, Pete. Thank you for contributing.
Of course.
But really, he's contributing to his own enjoyment of the game by getting more videos. So
yeah, basically.
It's a completely selfish thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, it does help us to get to all the tournaments. Because having bought a house apparently is really, really expensive. So, it's nice to have a little bit of extra money from you guys to support us to get to those tournaments so we can record more games for you. And we will be recording some more games tomorrow, actually, at the Alpha Games Regional. So, we'll get some regional games out for you next week because hopefully we'll be getting the European Championships out by the end of this weekend.
Sure. Do you want to take me through the board?
Yeah, sure. So James then on the left has set up with Leighton, a garden caretaker, left and a rose garden.
That seemed good.
And then on the right, Trig has set up with Ricasso, Dawn and the water gardens. And with our opening plots, James has played Time of Plenty and Trig has played the long plan.
Yeah. So whose setup do you think is better? I think James is better. He's got 4 cards out. He's got a decent board. He's got economy. Whereas Trig has Dawn, which is going to help him.
Yeah. When
you lose the challenges. He has Water Gardens, which doesn't do anything this round, and 1 character who ideally he'd like to be bestowed. I'd imagine.
Yeah. So you'd say that Trig. We saw that he mulliganed, so Trig's mulligan didn't help him basically.
No. I guess that takes the pressure off James a little bit in terms of getting set up. He can afford to put out red wine straights in the high tower.
Yeah, so that's red wine straights, high tower, and he's also managed to put right out as well. So he's got left and right non-kneeling to defend. And with Leighton high tower out being there, he's going to be able to kneel that to just put someone into play knelt.
Yep.
So, he's going to have a nice... Or something, yes. So he's going to have a nice full board by the end of this. Trig there marshalling a green blood trader and using a blood orange grove there to reduce its cost, and that lets him draw 2 cards and choose one of them to keep. So already he's started filtering through his deck and he's got Dawn there to help him continue doing so. Although James is getting his draw with the high tower. So James here is passing challenges and Trig here doing an intrigue with the green blood. James deciding to kneel Leighton to put Garland into play and bestowing him 1. And reacting with the high tower to draw a card and gain a gold. And although he could have very easily defended with left or right, whichever one it is that's got the intrigue icon, he's not. And actually this is one of the cool things that James does in this game. For me, I'd be like, oh yeah, defend, and Trig's going to get loads of cards from me doing that. But James lets through a few challenges that's basically that he could have very easily won, and this stops Trig from getting as much card draw.
Yeah,
so,
not only is it card draw, every time James wins a challenge, he gives Trig a gold and a card.
And a gold? Why does he get a gold too?
The long plan.
Ah, yeah, of course.
So it's not really in James' best interest to defend. It's good for James to let Trig get some power on his house card as well.
Oh. So we've got Last of the Giants into a Pyromancers here that he is going to use that powery one from the unopposed, I guess.
Maybe I lied when I said it's good for James to let Trig have power on his house card, because that turned out badly.
Yeah, so Trig there, spending 2 gold for Last of the Giants, putting in the Pyromancers, and then using their ability to remove the high tower. So immediately stripping James of his card draw there.
The last of the Pyromancer.
Yeah. And then the Pyromancers there dying at the end of the phase due to the Last of the Giants' effect. So that's a big knock for James there. I mean, the high tower is quite important in this deck. So
yeah, he got 3 copies of it. You'd think it's a bit of a tempo hit, but he triggered the high tower twice. So he's only paid 2 gold for it now, because he's had 2 gold back off his 4 gold investment.
Yes,
he's drawn 2 cards from it, and it cost Trig 2 cards and 2 gold to get rid of it.
2 cards, 2 gold, and a power.
Yeah, so I guess,
So James hasn't done as badly as initially might be thought.
Yeah, it would have been a lot better for James had it got the high tower round after round, because the more gold, the more cards you get, the better value the high tower has become. So now we have Filthy Accusation into at Prince Duran's behest.
Okay.
So of course, James didn't need to play Filthy, but why did he play Filthy?
Tempo?
I guess he knows Trig got a weaker board, that's for sure.
Also, a thing that, because I played the exact same deck as Whammer, although Whammer clearly played it a million times better than I did. But one thing with this deck is it basically always opens Time of Plenty.
Yeah.
But then the second plot, there's a lot of impactful plots, and there's not really like an obvious second plot. So sometimes you just have to go with like one of those impactful ones at a time when they might not be as impactful, if that makes sense. So Trig here has gone into your King Commands it. That's interesting.
Well, there are a couple of reasons you might do that.
Do you have king stuff in his deck? Is
No.
this the one where non-kings can't gain power?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not as bad.
So it slows down any renown that Whammer may have. It's a generous amount of gold at 6, plus he's 1 from the long plan. He's obviously got 2 Blood Orange Groves now, and he's using the Water Garden, which is going to give him a discount of 2 on non-characters. So he's got plenty of economy options now with that. And I guess he's not going to worry about gaining power on his characters.
Yeah. With regards to the marshalling there, Trig there just using an Alt-Art Nymeria.
Not an Alt-Art.
Yeah, another Alt-Art. I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, another Alt-Art. Not a Trig. So this is the one that steals icons. And then we've also got a House-Dane Escort. Is that what they're called?
Yep.
Cool. Whammer's marshalling here. He managed to play out the Arbor and then just sitting on the rest of the gold, I think. So he's got 3 gold remaining.
Wow, what do you think to that?
Oh, sorry. Trig also got a Bastard Daughter out as well.
He did.
So again, he's doing a challenge that he knows that Whammer could easily defend, but he's not going to. He's going to let that go unopposed.
Whammer's clearly got a strategy here of the fewer Dawn triggers I let him have, the better. And of course, if Whammer wants to swing back with the power challenge, there's power for him to take.
Yeah. So he's choosing to defend the power. So he knows which ones he wants to defend. He knows which ones are important in the challenges. So defending the power is, for James, apparently very important. Intrigue, I guess if/when he gets Mace in hand, or possibly even another high tower, he'd want to defend them. But for now, he's got a big enough board that he doesn't mind letting a military through. He can let that go, and it means that Trig isn't going to get as much card draw.
He doesn't have any of the major players out. No Marjorie, no Renly, no Mace, not even a Randall. He does have Garland.
Yeah, so Garland's going in for power for 5? Is he 5? Because he's 4 with 1 token.
He's 3.
He's 3 with 1 bestow.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's on 4?
Makes him 4 strength.
Okay, and Nymeria's 4 strength?
She is.
Yeah, so...
Nymeria. I think that's Ariane.
No, it's definitely Nymeria.
Is it?
Yes, 100%.
crazy.
Doesn't have any icons for a start.
See, I was so confused.
I did say, like, it was a Nymeria. Because it was an alt art. So Trig there forgot about the fact that Garland's strength was boosted by the bestow. So he uses a Prince's Plan to boost Nymeria's strength.
Paid for with the Water Garden, was it?
I believe so. And this is to ensure that James doesn't win that power challenge there.
He does.
He doesn't.
How did he win Dom?
Yeah, he won Dom instead.
Cool.
Because if he'd won the power challenge, he'd have got claim plus renown.
So the only challenge is James is actively getting involved in his power challenges.
Yeah. I actually I messaged Wammer after I watched this game, and I said it was like quite an education watching him play against Martell Wars. It was really interesting to see how he coped with Dawn and stuff like that.
Yeah. What did he say back?
He said thanks, but look out for the bit where I nearly like screw everything up big time.
I look forward to this then. The King in the North.
Yeah, so King in the North against March to the Wall.
Okay, so Alex has chosen Ricasso, one of his few Bicon. So I'm guessing he may wish to play him and bestow him again later.
Yeah, would make sense.
King in the North seems good. Whammer doesn't have a king, but I'm sure he has king attachments.
Yeah, and also he's got the Arbor, he's got red wine straights, he's got a Rose Garden. If he's got a Renly in hand, for example, it's very easy for him to play that out.
Yeah, that's the bonus of having the Arbor and the red wine straights.
Yeah, he gets so much extra gold.
And it's not dependent on kneeling location.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about withering cold and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, Renly, the Crown of Golden Roses, there we go, there's Renly. So they're all options for the Tyrell player if they want to use the king plots. So Renly there, Renly there is always good. Tricon with insight to let you get that extra, card draw and whatnot. And then we can see that he's just duped right again. So right is double duped. So at least he can be pretty protected against any resets.
How do you remember which is left and which is right?
From the thing you told me, left looks right and right looks left.
It's true. I hope that's right now.
If it isn't, I've been saying it wrong for like months.
Videos.
Yeah. So Trig here doesn't seem to have marshalled anything. But he's using... Did he marshal anything? I don't think he did he?
Nope.
No. That he's using the Prince's Plan to boost Nymeria and defend against Renly. Does that work?
It's interesting that he hadn't used the Water Garden to pay for the Prince's Plan.
He can't, he doesn't have a king.
Oh yeah. That's probably why he didn't marshal anything.
Plonker.
He can't even trigger Dawn, right?
Nope. So he lost the challenge, so he just paid to get the Prince's Plan back to hand. He took both of them, so we're just reminding him there that he needs to pay the 2 gold for the 2 individual cards. Because he'd only pay 1.
Bit of counting. Is he doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo?
No. He's doing Prince's Plan. He's spelling out Prince's Plan, but then couldn't remember if it was plans or plan. So he decided, I think it was plan. There you go. He decided it was plan, missed it, and if he decided it was plans, he would have hit it. Is what Trig said. Is it plans or is it plan?
The Prince's Plan. I think it's singular.
Okay.
Singular.
So I had a quick military there go through from right, which Trig defended with Vasa Daughter and killed her immediately. But unfortunately, because of the plot, she doesn't trigger to do any of her mean stuff.
That was a really strong round from the King in the North because he didn't get a Nymeria trigger, he didn't get a Bastard Daughter trigger, couldn't trigger the Water Garden, couldn't trigger the Blood Orange Gold, and couldn't trigger Dawn on any of those challenges. That's at least 8 or 9 triggers that Alex couldn't get at all.
Yeah, so it's a tough round for him. So it'd be interesting to see what plot they decide to go for now. I'm just trying to think what plots Whammer's got that
Wardens?
might help.
That's normally a plot Tyrell players play when there's nothing obvious to do. Just play Wardens.
To be honest, it's about right. Especially when your gold situation's set up like that. It really doesn't matter about the gold on the plots. But no, we're going for your king commands it.
VD.
Into VD. Ouch, okay.
So I'm guessing James going to get rid of Renly. Yeah. He served his purpose for that round. But the non-kneeling duo seemed pretty good.
Yeah. And Leighton as well just lets you put stuff back in for free. So it's good to have him repopulate the board after the VD. And Trig there didn't need to discard anything, did he?
Nope.
So that worked out well for him.
That would be why he played it. I guess Trig was hoping that maybe Whammer would want to keep Renly and have to break up the left or right duo. But of course, that doesn't seem optimal, despite how good Renly is.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if Whammer played this plot now because, he didn't really have any other renowned characters on the board. It doesn't really affect Trig, but maybe he wants to save those more impactful ones for later because it's never really going to affect Trig. He might have also wanted to get it out of the way before he started to try and play Mace out, for example, because Mace won't work with this plot out as he is not a king unless he gets crowned.
Yeah. Gets crowned.
Like
Leighton has put in the high tower.
He has, yes.
James has played a flea bottom. Now he's kneeling stuff.
Yeah. Oh, Marjorie.
Ooh, Tinder Marge.
Get a strong one out, so that's high tower triggering to gain the gold on the card. So even though it's knelt, that doesn't matter, we can still use it. And duping the red one straights, because this deck does play PD.
Yeah, I think Trig's going to want to Varus the board at some point.
Well, he's got Varus in hand. He's had it in hand since the first turn.
Yeah.
So he's probably just waiting for another Last of the Giants.
Yeah, that last of the Pyromancer. Got rid of the high tower number 1. But there's a fair amount of draw in Tyrell. There's a lot of draw in Tyrell.
A Varus for Trig would be really good actually because that would leave Whammer with just right. It gets rid of the Leighton, it gets rid of Marjorie, it gets rid of left, but it won't get rid of Mace.
Crikey.
Because Mace is duped. You pay for Marjorie and Mace. It's crazy. This is quite cool. So he's using Mace's trigger here to put Leighton out to come back in during the challenges phase. So although Mace won't be able to trigger, it does mean that Leighton now will be standing as he was knelt during the marshalling phase to put the high tower in.
It's good, huh?
So we're just going to get Trig's marshalling here, and then we'll get the challenges phase beginning and Leighton coming back in.
So, Whammer's done so much on his 6 goal plot. Getting out Marjorie, getting out Mace, lost to Renly, he's got out the high tower and the flea bottom.
Yeah.
And yeah, Trig's played out half day and night. So he seems to be getting a lot more mileage.
Yeah.
He's definitely being very proactive right now.
So Nymeria here is taking Marjorie's intrigue icon and then ambushing in the Dornish Spy to remove Mace's intrigue icon too. So removing intrigue icon seems suspicious, eh? Wouldn't be that much power though, right? Be like, what, 3 power? 4 power?
Yeah, he played Behest.
He has,
So
but it's still only 3 or 4 in the use pile.
He's got 4 in there now, I think.
Let's see.
Behest, Marched. What else did he play? Long Plan. What did he play last round? King Commands it. That's 4.
So 4 in the use pile. That's acceptable, right?
4 power.
Still a big jump.
Yeah.
So I think Whammer was considering passing his challenges, but then when the intrigue icons went, he was like, well, I might as well just do a big power then. So he goes in for a big power challenge with Mace and Marjorie here. Which just defending with the House Dane escort. Whammer's going to win this one. But he's just considering an action first, I believe.
What action could he have, Rebecca?
Nightmares or something, maybe? If he wants to Nightmares Dawn.
Possible. How much gold has he got? 2 gold? There's no ambush worth 2 gold.
Hmm.
That's going to benefit in any way. You could ambush the Old Town Informer, but there's not going to be a bestow.
The other risky thing here is because he's done a power challenge, if Trig's got any Viper's Eyes, could be a bit dodgy for James, right?
He did power challenges earlier.
Nightmares in Water Gardens. Ah, right, because he wanted... Oh, there is a Viper's Eyes as well. Yeah, so maybe he wanted to Nightmares the Water Gardens to stop Trig from being able to do Duran's game, because Trig doesn't have any gold.
Clever. Is that a Duran game you just got from Dawn?
I don't know, there's a Varus. Didn't see what the other one was.
I don't know. It was an event.
So just going through the reactions here. So reaction 1 was Viper's Eyes, and we had a Littlefinger and a Randall in hand, and Trig took the Randall, or Littlefinger. Littlefinger, that was it, because it's card draw. The other reaction was Dawn, so getting to look at 2 and choose 1. Then we get the actual claim, plus Renown on Marjorie, so that puts Whammer up to 5, and Trig now on 0 power.
Sad.
But we're going to have an intrigue here with Nymeria and the Spy. Whammer there just defending with whichever one left and right has it. And discarding his last card, which was the Randall for claim.
And no Duran game like speculated?
I couldn't, because Water Gardens is Nightmares.
Of course. Do you think he's going to do it next round?
Potentially. And then Nightmares on the Hellstain Knight there. Sorry, Military from the Hellstain Knight there.
Taking
Even.
a dupe off of right.
Because let's face it, you can afford to, right? Right?
I see what you did there.
Thanks.
It's not big and it's not clever.
Just a tried. Also, I'd like to say that I didn't set up the game as being wonky, but a certain person, Trig, knocked the camera and made it all wonky. So I'm sorry that it's a bit wonky.
Trig knocked the camera?
He did knock the camera.
Oh, that's unforgivable.
I know, naughty Trig. So yeah,
I mean,
I was like, oh, it's so nicely lined up. Went away, came back. Ah!
I was just thinking how that completely ruined my viewing of this game.
Were you thinking that?
Yeah, like, I can't watch this with the camera like that. That's why I don't have any idea what's going on.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, no idea.
You're such a tease.
I'm so triggered. Triggered.
Oh dear.
That's not
terrible.
big and it's not fun.
But anyway, plot. So we've got pulling the strings into trade routes. I think Whammer made Trig first, and then Trig's like, okay, Trig or trade routes. Someone always tells, cancel your plot.
Oh!
So I was like, oh, so I'm not entirely sure what Whammer would have chosen, but it doesn't matter now anyway. So in the plot phase still, I believe, Whammer there is putting in, using Leighton to put in Allery, and then triggering Allery's reaction to go and find left. It also triggered the High Tower to gain a gold and draw a card, and using that gold that he gained from that to put a power onto Mace. So this is all just in the plot phase.
Wow.
This means that he'll be able to trigger Mace again in the marshalling, and hopefully again in the challenges phase too.
This is really good. You can see it moving like a well-oiled machine when Whammer plays it. Because you see a lot of people play Tyrell Wars, they take time to think about triggers and they're not sure what the right course of action is. And you now see, Whammer at the pinnacle of his game. Maybe not the pinnacle. I'm sure he's tried to fuck it up somehow. But, he's obviously played it so many times, he knows exactly what he's doing. He doesn't hesitate too much over his decision. But then he doesn't seem that much under pressure from Trig.
So we say that, but Trig's just played out of Varus. He's used his secret schemes, and with the 5 used plots now, he was able to draw 5 cards, kneeling his faction card there because of it. Using the Water Gardens to pay for Jade Sea Dromond, is that?
Jade Sea Dromond.
Okay. And then that's one way you can sacrifice it during the dominance phase.
Yeah, to get rid of a location of printed cost 3 or lower. I think it's non-limited as well.
Okay, so we can get rid of Flea Bottom then.
Yes.
So
he got a lot of cards off Secret Schemes. What, 5 cards?
yeah, which seems really good. But Varus here on the board could be a big problem for Whammer, because he just needs to Varus and Valar, right? If he runs the other Valar.
Sure. I mean,
And duping Varus as well, so stopping Whammer from having any tricks. And I don't think Whammer runs put to the sword or anything, but it certainly stops him from doing it.
yeah, see, duping Varus, that's curious. I mean, if you intend to use Varus, you might not dupe him.
Why wouldn't you dupe him though?
Because you might want to play it again. Let's say Whammer gets another dupe on Mace. Then you're going to need a Varus twice.
Maybe he's got all 3.
All 3 what?
Varus.
Varuses?
Yeah.
Who said he won 3? He probably does run 3.
If it feels like he does, he always seems to have Varus. I say always. I mean, we've seen 2 of his games, but he does seem to find his Varus. But with the amount of draw that you get in Martell at the moment, not really a surprise. So Whammer's marshalling then. So he's played flipping heck.
Old Town Informer.
Cool. I was going to say Courtesan of the Rose. I was miles
What's
off.
Courtesan of the Rose? Jesus.
So he's played
That's not even any of the ones you normally say.
I know. I was like, that's definitely wrong. So he plays out the Old Town Informer, bestows it 3, triggering High Tower to gain a gold, draw a card, triggering Mace. But what Whammer is basically doing here is looking for that Nightmares number 2. So bestowing for 3 means that he's going to be able to really sift through his deck 3 cards at a time, plus all the High Tower triggers too. So he really needs to go and find that Nightmares so that he can Nightmares the Varus.
It would have been really sad if Nightmare was the top card.
Yeah. So Alarie coming back into play there, and using her reaction to go and get a High Tower Spy. Yes?
Yep.
Cool, got that one at least. And because this one's a ambush character, Whammer's got enough money there to be able to ambush her in and trigger the Old Town Informer again to look at 3 cards. So he's still going through all these reactions of Alarie coming back in at the moment.
Yeah, did he find the Nightmares for the Varus?
Well, that's what we're going to have to wait and find out, right?
I don't suppose he showed the camera his hand. God damn it, Whammer, such an enigma.
So, so Trig getting in his first challenge after all of that shuffling. A power challenge there from the Hellstone Escort. So if Whammer defends this, it could be that Trig is wanting that to happen so he can try and search for maybe Hand's Judgments from Dawn. I don't know if he runs Hand's Judgments.
Maybe, who knows? Maybe he looked for Viper Eyes.
Or maybe Viper Eyes, depending if Whammer does a challenge back. So Whammer, they're defending the power. Got an entry coming through. If he's found the Nightmares, he would block it. He's blocking it, okay. So it seems like he's found the Nightmares. And Trig they're drawing from the reaction on Dawn. And I think it's just considering an Nymeria trigger here. I'm not entirely sure. It's quite a formidable board to try and get through, really. Although I guess really he just wants to get the draw now, right?
Maybe.
He could use a free bottom, really, couldn't he, Trig? He's going to have to discard a lot of cards, isn't he, after that Secret Schemes?
Well, I've got a reserve of 7.
Oh yeah, because the Dawn gives you +1 as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I always forget about that bit. Got lots of calculating going on here. Okay, so Whammer here taking an action. Using Flea Bottom. Bringing in a Hightail Spy.
Oof.
Her reaction to boost Marjorie by 1.
1. Formidable.
And then using the Old Town Informer's reaction.
He's still digging for Nightmares.
Apparently. Going for 3. He still also has the high tower reaction to go, I think. Oh no, he's already used the high tower, hasn't he? So he can't do that one again. Trig here's just asking about how many times he can trigger the alternate former, but there's no limit on her reaction. So discarding, I don't know, Caretaker and a couple of other cards. Didn't quite catch what they were. So hopefully... Oh my gosh, you're still going. Maybe you hadn't found the Nightmares. So going for another Courtesan.
Wow.
There's 3 more cards he gets to look at.
He is really, really, really digging.
He is.
This is obviously really important.
I think it is, though, to be fair. Like,
Varys into Valar next turn.
He's going to screw him.
Wipes the boards.
And discarding, I think that's like a copy of either left or right there, and then a couple of other cards. He hadn't triggered Mace yet this phase, so he's triggering Mace now.
Well, that implies he may have found it.
If
he hadn't, he knows he's going to get Varys and Valar. Why
would he bother?
Would you waste gold?
So...
Well, waste. Inverted commas.
So we say that, you know, now he's found it. But now he's going with a power challenge. He's Viper's Eyes.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
That's very dangerous, Whammer. I was watching this thinking, oh shit, what are you doing?
Is this the thing?
This is the thing. So he's finally found Nightmares. And then, like, he does a power challenge. And Trig's like, fine, react, Dawn. But does he have the Viper's Eyes?
James Hart must have sank when he said react.
I know.
Oh, Dawn, it's okay.
But he doesn't have it. He doesn't have the Viper's Eyes. So yeah, that could have been a moment. So if he did have Viper's Eyes and Whammer didn't have the Hand's Judgment, that's a whole different ball game.
I mean, he runs 2 Nightmare, 2 Hand Judgments, right?
But I think he's used the Hand's Judgments.
Both of them?
I think so. Because he cancelled some stuff earlier, didn't he? Didn't he? I feel like he did.
I don't think he did.
Did he not?
He may have done.
Maybe I'm thinking of another game.
I don't think he did.
Maybe not then. So there we go. The Nightmares on Varys.
Damn.
And a sad face from Trig.
That is sad. Could that buy James the turn to win the game, I think?
Well, I think he's basically won now, isn't he? You can't really stop Mace at this point.
Yeah.
Because he can do it once in the plot phase, once in the marshalling, and then once in the challenges, right?
Well.
So I think this is game. Unless Trig's got some insane plan, or if he's got fortified position, which with 5 minutes left.
Fortified position would be banter.
That's from the blank zone one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Blank zone Varys.
Well, that's probably irrelevant right now.
Yeah.
Is he just discarding 2 reserve?
He is.
Wow.
Discarding 4. Is that Mag the Mighty?
Yep.
That's pretty cool.
Laughter of the Giant Mag is pretty good when the boards are small.
I do quite like Trig's deck. It seems like he's got a few of the weirder stuff in there. Like JC Drummond and Pyromancers and stuff like that.
Well, you think it's weird, but I think it's pretty good in Martell Wars.
Yeah?
Yeah, it is, because they like to use Laughter of the Giant into Varys. And when you're running Laughter of the Giant, you know, Trig has probably got, you know, the one of Mag, Pyromancers, maybe 1 or 2 of, possibly even a Jackan.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have extra targets for your Laughter of the Giants in case you don't draw the Varys.
So just to note that Whammer used Allery there. Used Mace, sorry, to put Allery out and the back in again, so you can trigger Allery to look at the top 10 cards of his deck and go and get a Tyrell character 3 cost or under.
Allery's doing a lot of work.
She is. She's been in that like 4 times now.
I remember during a discussion with Matt Edelman, and Matt Edelman wanted to take Allery out temporarily. And I don't think James was thinking it was a good idea.
Well, we can see why in this game, right?
It's been so good. All that search.
And then, yeah, we've got the Mace trigger 2, so only 2 power off. And that's all happened in the taxation and marshalling. Oh,
Oh,
PD.
oh,
Oh,
that's great timing.
that's very good timing.
Well, that's amazing.
And Trig can't even cancel it, can he?
He cannot.
Because there's no way for him to get the gold. So, Whammer here going first, triggering his plot first. Whammer, I'm assuming, going to save Hightower, Arbor, and Redwine Straits.
Whammer knew that was coming. That's why he used Allery to get a chud in hand.
Ah, because of the Valar.
Yeah.
I see.
I mean, his action leading up to that lead me to think that he definitely knew that was coming. What else could Trig do? He had to do something. At least it takes him down a power from Marjorie.
Yeah, that's true.
And leaves him a little more exposed on the board.
Yeah, still got the 2 characters out.
But crucially, James, look at that backboard.